Nancy. Okay, we'll go ahead and open this meeting and call for a motion to go into the Board of Equalization.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to enter into the Board of Equalization.
A motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Let's go ahead. So now everybody that's going to participate in a 9 o'clock hearing in this hour, the deputy clerk will swear you in.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that any testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. These are the proceedings. Under Idaho Code 63501, the Board of County Commissioners are required to convene as the Board of Equalization. We're here to determine market value under Idaho Code 63205, which states that all real, personal, and operating property subject to property taxation must be assessed annually at market value for assessment purposes as of 12:01 a.m. of the first day of January in the year in which such property taxes are levied. Furthermore, under Idaho Code 63502, the function of the Board of Equalization shall be confined strictly to assuring that the market value for assessment purposes of property has been found by the assessor, and to the functions provided for in Chapter 6, Title 63, Idaho Code, relating to exemptions from taxation. The taxpayer shall have the burden of proof in seeking affirmative relief to establish that the determination of the assessor is erroneous. A preponderance of the evidence shall suffice to sustain the burden of proof. We're here to discuss the market value of property, the condition, the state, or information that is relevant to the topic. This is fact and not opinion. We are not here to discuss taxes, past grievances, policy, personal income, or other issues. If you do not stick to the discussion as requested, your time will be reclaimed. So the property owner will be given 3 minutes, and then the assessor's table will be given 3 minutes. We'll have a discussion, and the rules are: be kind, direct all questions or comments to the board. If your conduct is out of line, you'll be warned once. If your conduct continues to be out of line, you'll be asked to leave. Go ahead and state your full name and your address, and your 3 minutes will begin.
Benji Golden Gardner, 14723 West Chippewa Road. Do I need to speak into this? Does it matter?
Yes.
Okay.
And just so y'all know, we are recorded live, and it is being videoed.
Okay. So yeah, I assume that you guys got the notes of my appeal. So it's a little hard to pin down how you guys come up with the values, but one of the considerations that I don't know if it was taken is about probably 3 years now ago, there was a dormant gravel pit directly behind my house. It was owned by Bannock Paving. It was sold to IMC. IMC is aggressively mining that gravel now, and with their light industrial permit, they're running 24/7. They've got giant spotlights at night. They got rock crushers, heavy equipment running. So obviously that creates a lot of noise, pollution. There's light pollution. I've got spotlights shining in my back at night, as well as the noise at night, and excessive air pollution. I have started a complaint with Bannock County to see if there's anything that we can do about it, make sure that they're working within their rights. We have not seen any sort of water trucks or anything, so they're creating plumes of dirt. We're downwind from it. So I definitely think that that's a factor in determining value. Me and my neighboring people, that, especially the ones that back up directly to it. I mean, there's a lot of people downwind from that area that are getting a lot of the air pollution, but being right behind it, we get, like I said, the noise pollution and the light pollution as they operate through the night. So that was definitely one of my key. Hopefully that's somehow factored in when determining value. Then the other one, for a lack of a better idea, I jumped on the parcel viewer. I know that I only have currently the data from last year, so I tried to I determined that from last year to this year, my value increased by approximately 32%. So I pulled up some comparable properties, multiplied them from last year's value by the 32%. Again, I don't have like a wealth of how everybody's have been impacted since last year. So I did the best I could and came up with using 4 properties right there in my area. None of them actually back up to that gravel pit, but using that, I came up with an average value of $350,000. I guess I could issue one correction to my assessment. What does that mean?
Your time's up.
Okay. I was just going to say I'd increase my value that I determined by almost $10,000 because I went and got a breakdown across the street, and that explained that all my comps are on acre lots. Mine is 1.79 acres.
Okay, but your time is up. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yep.
The assessor's table?
I wasn't aware that that rock pit was now active.
Yeah, I was going to ask, that is to the southwest, behind your house?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the 80 acres.
Yeah, okay, I'm looking at that.
Because when this was last assessed, it was dormant.
Yeah, it's been dormant my entire
Like
life.
physically assessed, reassessed.
Okay. Okay, your 3 minutes.
We found 3 comparable cells that are similar land size, but a couple of them have smaller lots, obviously, but they are similar in square feet. Actually, all 3 of them have less, but to find something at his same main level, at 2,660 square feet on Main, in that area was a little bit more difficult just because this home used to be a basement home and he added the upper level just a few years ago. We still have the basement as zero finish from that time frame. So we found 10870 Cumberland Road, which is fairly close by, 1 acre lot, 2018 build, has 1,733 on the main and zero basement finish, similar to his. It's coming in a lot higher at $322 per square foot, where his is coming at $191. We have a newer build at Kensington. It's a 2021 build, 14,890 Kensington. Has about 1,889 square feet on the main. It does have some basement finish, 945, but that kind of offsets the main level square feet of his, and it's coming in at 182 per square feet. And 5215 Kimball, it's a 2013 build, 1,832 square feet on the main. Again, a little bit of about half square feet finished at 890 in the basement, to come in at 206 per square foot. I think he's on the lower end of those. I mean, not the lowest, but right in the middle. As far as his land, it looks like we got him on the lower end, so I think we may have already adjusted for where it sits. Where he's rural, he is on a little bit different land schedule, but doesn't bring him in quite as high as city properties. 2 of the comparables are rural subdivisions, but they do have other amenities, so their land is a little bit higher. So I would just ask that the value of $610,979 be upheld.
Any rebuttal for what was just commented here?
I guess maybe some clarification. So all of those comps are relatively new builds. I know that I have remodeled the home, but my house is a 1960s house. Is there any consideration in value? Because again, I live in an older part of the neighborhood. These are all in brand new subdivisions. She mentioned they have, nicer amenities and stuff. What kind of consideration is there for that?
And there is in the land, like she said.
There's what?
There is in the land, like she said. it's been adjusted. They have a half acre, an acre, and a fifth of an acre. So their land values are, compared to yours, are a lot lower,
So,
the amenity.
a couple questions. This was originally a basement home,
Yeah.
and so you scraped off the roof of that and then built your new home on top
Yeah,
of
when I
that?
purchased the home, it had a leaky roof, so we removed the low pitch roof and built on top of.
Okay, because the parcel viewer is not correct at all. It just shows the basement square footage, doesn't show any of above, which I know you, in your assessment, you showed above ground, or you showed, okay, there we go. Yeah, you showed below grade of 2,600 square feet and above grade of 2,600 square feet. Is that?
Part of that is garage,
the
under,
above- the
on,
above-
on the basement, so that wouldn't be finished either, but it goes the full length, but a portion of that is garage, but we have zero finish down there.
Okay. So the other question I have for you is, with the gravel pit going live, what kind of impact would that have? Because there's got to be some kind of impact for that.
We'd have to see if that affected any of the cells in the area. I didn't see any immediately around him, which, I mean, I guess you could say that either it doesn't bother the people enough to move, or they just like where they live, and I don't know. There just wasn't anything other than brand new homes like over in the brand new subdivision of Brookstone that really have even sold in that immediate area.
Okay. When did you complete your remodel and build the upper portion?
2018, 2019, something in there.
So that kind of impacts the age of your home. It's not a 1960s home anymore because you did all that upgrading and remodeling. It now becomes a 2018 home, that top portion of it.
I mean, if I were to list it though on a MLS, it would be listed as a 1960s home because it's the original foundation.
But with updates and stuff, the whole upstairs would be considered new. So you have kind of that mixed use going on there. I struggle with the location because I know where you're at, and I would agree that there's some location differences versus what some of the comps are. And also with the gravel pit behind it, I think that does. That's one of those things when you buy it and it's not active, it's okay, and then all of a sudden you
Okay.
buy it and it becomes
This
active.
conversation here now.
That is a whole nother issue. I look at Realtor.com and it says it'd be valued at 563. I don't know if that's a good number or not. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I was thinking about going back to last year's value on the property at 61. That'd take $30,000 off of it, which would compensate for the gravel pit. Which is not quite where you was at, but. So, it'd be 583. But I'm happy, if Realtor.com says 563, I'm okay there too.
Yeah, without a lot better information than that, Mr. Chair, on parcel RP R385301430, I make a motion that we adjust the value down to 563 with the reduction coming off of the improvements. And one last question before we vote on that. Do you guys show when the last time this one was inspected physically?
Probably when it was completed. Let me look.
And you got that coming off the improvements. But I'd like to do something on the land if that's what we're adjusting because of, look, I don't
The
know.
land's already
You know what I'm saying?
I think,
been adjusted.
I think the land is okay. Let me look at that.
It was in
Well, that would be the condition
2020
of
that it
the
was
gravel
last
pit, in my
physically
opinion.
reviewed.
Okay, so, what'd you say, Lenita? Sorry.
2020 was the last physical review.
Physical review. Okay. But we'll go with your motion, that's fine.
Well, hold on a second, let's look. If we take it off the land, that throws the whole land
Well-
out of whack with everybody else around them.
If you take 20,000 off the land,
Okay.
and then the rest off of
The
the
improvement.
improvements.
Okay. I'll accept that, a friendly amendment to take 20,000 off the value of the land and the remainder of the reduction off of the improvements.
And
Is that
put
20 off the land?
20 off the
20.
land.
But the total being 563.
That is correct.
And make sure that in your notes, that you have a notation that we've compensated for the gravel pit, so that it doesn't come back again.
Thank you.
That's what I want to make sure.
Thank you.
We have a motion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So, sir, we come down to 563. You have the ability, and the assessor's office has the ability to appeal to the state tax board, or you have the ability to go to court. And other than that, I would consider this hearing closed. Thank you.
Thank you. So are you guys super pressed for time? I was just curious if you guys have,
We are,
oh, okay.
we got,
Okay.
that's why everybody's allowed about 10 minutes. And thank you. All right.
I'm free to go.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Vandemar? Introduce yourself, and your 3 minutes will begin.
Taylor Vandemar, 1742 Satterfield. I come with 3 separate issues today, all of which were noted on my appeal form. The first issue is, I think, pretty key. I'm not sure how much bedroom and bathroom count impact the value of a property, but Zillow has my property listed as an 8-bedroom property, which is not accurate at all. As far as what I understand, the legal definition of a bedroom has a closet and an egress window. I have 6 legal bedrooms in my home, 1 in my basement and 5 on my main level, which include the master bedroom. I do have a copy I was able to obtain from my home inspector from when I purchased the property in 2015, if you'd like to see that. The other issue with that is, that's changeable by anyone with a Zillow account. I could go in and I could claim a property, and if I can get into there and claim that, I still have rental properties in this town that I own, that I have the Zillow account. I could go mishmash the room count on any of those properties right now. So I think we need to know that Zillow and Realtor.com are not gospel. Second, I mentioned in my appeal that U.S. property tax values, on average, they were raised about 20.7%. I made an error there. I used May rather than January, so correction on that. It was 32.65%. My assessment went up 62.64%, so pretty significant difference there. If you took my previous assessment of $336,000, you multiplied that by 32.65%, that'd be a $109,000 increase and would bring my value to $445,000. The next thing is, inflation and market value. We can look at Zillow all day long, but the fact of the matter is we're in an inflated market, and I get it. That's what people are willing to pay for a home. But if you look at the home that borders me at 2891 Shelley, it has recently went from 1.075 million to 989 to 954 yesterday. It's not going to sell for that. We're way inflated. That is a 2008 home with nicer fits and finishes on a lot that's over double my size. So we're way off the map there. And again, these estimates are not gospel here. Zillow will tell you that their margin of error is 6.9%. The CEO of Zillow himself is famously known for selling his home for over 60% of $700,000 less than what his own estimate was. So I do have an article about that as well. So if I did a margin of error on my property of 6.9%, that would take another $30,700 off, and it would bring me down to $414,000. So if we want to talk about estimates, 414 might be a fair number and 445 might be a fair number, but I think that 711 is a not real fair number. And the gentleman before me spoke about the gravel pit. I'd speak about the location. and the busyness of the road.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Your 3 minutes? Or do you
Can
have
I ask you a
comments?
question?
Yes.
To clarify. We do show 8 bedrooms, although we go off square feet and the bedrooms don't add value or you take it away from
Okay.
our assessment. I would like to get that corrected, so if she could let me know
Would you-
what level has what bedrooms, we can correct that right now.
Would you like the inspection report? It has the bedrooms listed. You're welcome to have it.
We can get with her after. and
Yeah,
correct
yeah,
that.
what they're after,
Okay.
just, that isn't part of
Okay.
Yep.
the BOE.
Right. I just was,
Yep.
to clarify, yeah, we do show 8 bedrooms.
Okay, your 3 minutes begin.
Subject property is at 1742 Satterfield, a little over a quarter-acre lot, 2+ stories. I do believe we have like 2 and about a half story above grade. Total above grade square feet is 4,589. Below grade 1,500, with about 1,350 of that finished. She does have a garage. We are assessing her at $701,221, which brings her in at about 103 price per square foot when you take away any outside amenities, paving, sheds, etc. Comparable number 1 is at 11178 Deer Ridge. It does sit on a little bit more acreage, but to find homes with larger amounts of square feet, we had to go a little bit further out. It is a 2-story. It's a little bit newer build, but has over 2,000 square feet less on the main at 3,694. On the main and upper levels, 1813 in the basement. When you take out all their extra amenities, it comes in at 159 per square foot. We also have one in the area of Satterfield area, 2255 Satterfield, a little over a quarter-acre lot, just like the subject. It has a little over 2 stories. I think it has a second story plus a little bit of a bonus area. It's a 1996 build, similar, which is closer to the 1986 subject year built. It has 3,412 square feet, which is less than the subject. It does have a larger basement, 2,158, with 2,050 of that finished. Again, taking out the paving and amenities, it comes in at 117 per square foot. And then we had one at 4672 Flora, which is about a half acre, so it's slightly larger lot. Again, a little over 2-story home, 1999 build. This one has a little bit more square feet, 5,402 on the main, but the basement is way smaller. They only have a small basement of 382 square feet with 192 of that finished, which brings it in at 122,000, or 122 per square foot. This is a unique looking property. Finding exact comparables right in that area was more difficult than we expected without having to go brand new to get the square feet. So I would just, showing the bracketing of the price per square foot, I would just ask that the $701,221 assessed value be upheld.
Okay. Comment on anything she's just said.
Yes, I was able to find comparables that were right in my immediate area. I used 2905 Hillview Drive, which is about 4 houses down from me on the corner of Hillview and Satterfield. I used 1787 Satterfield, which is 3 doors down and across. I used 3000 Shawnee Place. I used 2049 Sunrise. And if we're talking about, Zestimates, which seems like are leaned on heavily in these hearings, these folks received Zestimate changes of, 15.5%, 6.38%, 25.8%, and 11.08. So it's all over the map. But I think that value-wise, they are considerably lower than me, but they're very comparable in square footage and lot size. Those sit at, the most similar is 2905 Hillview, and that sits at 677,000, and I sit at 711.
Okay.
So big difference, but there are comps out there that are more equitable.
But we didn't receive any of them.
That's
So-
fair.
So.
Yep.
We can't go off of them.
Nope,
So,
fair enough.
okay, all right. Commissioner Huff.
I'm still thinking for just a minute, so if you got something, go ahead.
Okay. No, I don't have anything.
On your 1787 Satterfield,
Mm-hmm.
is that a sale?
Yes, sir, it is. All of those are recent
What was
sales.
the date on that one?
I apologize. 1787, that sold 11/17/20. But I'm looking at not sale price, but estimate comparison.
So what did that sell for, did you say?
I don't have, it doesn't list the sale price, I apologize, I just printed this estimate. Their estimate is, as of January 1st of this year was 600,100. Mine was 711, but we're very comparable in lot size. My square footage is a bit less. I think my argument would be on a lot of that, you know, I'm at 1986 fits and finishes, not, you know,
On that deal, on my show, your square footage is being,
5980. Regretfully.
well, struggle, just because if you're gonna use Zillow and Realtor, both of them show it above what the assessor has. As the,
Is that today's value or is that
that's what I'm looking at. right now.
January 1st value?
Zillow has your Z estimate at 711, and Realtor has it at 880.
Right.
So even if I adjust that backwards, 2% a month, right? That's what we've been using.
Mhm.
So that would be 10%, 12%. That'd give you a value of 625 off of Zillow. That's 774 off of Realtor. That puts you at, if you take the average of the two, that puts you at 699. And they've got you at 701. So I think we're in the ballpark.
The motion?
I like the argument, I like the effort, I really did.
Yeah. I think we're way off, but
Well-
just based on fits and finishes, I mean,
Okay.
Well, I'm sorry, I can't find anything to really justify changing it, so, Mr. Chair, on parcel RPCP 10000100, make a motion that we keep the value as assessed.
We have a motion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So we upheld the assessor's value. You do have the ability to appeal to the state or
I'll
go
do
to
that,
court.
thank you.
All right,
Appreciate
thank
that.
you. Mr. Olson? Please state your name and then your 3 minutes will begin.
Can I ask a quick question before my timing starts? I assume you have my appeal form
Yep,
and the notes I put in my appeal form?
yep,
Okay,
talk.
so I don't waste my time, I won't repeat that.
Good,
That's why I asked the question.
all right.
Okay,
State your name, please.
my name is Clifford Olson, 735 Bitterroot Drive, Pocatello. You have the data that I cited in my appeal form. I really don't have much to add about valuations because I don't exactly know how to do that, and it doesn't seem particularly reasonable that the homeowner has a burden to do that, but whatever, that's the way it's set up. So, but I'd like to say that the same thing happened in 2019. My land value went up 50%, my house went up 18%, my taxation value went up 46%, and my actual tax went up 27%. I'll give you the numbers for the last 4 years, 2019, 20, 21, and 22. When I add them all up, my land value went up 125%, my house went up 66%, the total value went up 77%, and the taxable value, which is the significant one, went up 127%. That's in the last 4 years. My actual tax went up 30%. Believe I was reading back in 2019 that, and I know this is not supposed to be about taxes, but in using your own tax estimator, my tax this year is going to go up 27%. That's based on your valuation, and there's a direct relationship there. That's why I know that if I don't get an adjustment here, that's what my taxes will be. So my understanding is that there was supposed to be a law, an Idaho law, that any given homeowner shouldn't see his taxes go up more than 5% a year. Well, that happens year after year. Well, this is all from the 2019 blow up and all the stuff that was in the paper, written up by the Journal and all that. I'll also mention that in 2019, and this is pertinent, there was a bunch of protests, and I'm looking at what happened right there from the Board of Equalization. There was a number of neighborhoods that had their numbers arbitrarily reduced en masse. The whole neighborhood had their taxes reduced by anywhere from 30 or 5% to 35%. In my neighborhood, which is M4000, Sagewood Hills, there was no adjustment. And I believe what happened there is not enough of us came forward and protested. So it just seems to me like these kind of changes, these huge percentages, are unreasonable.
Assessor's table,
No question.
your 3 minutes begin.
Subject property resides at 735 Bitterroot on about a 1/4 acre lot. It's a 2-story home built in 1985. Above grade square foot is 2,248. Basement at 1,292 with 0 finish in the basement. Comes in at $115 per square foot. Comparable number 1 sits at 685 Bitterroot Drive, about the same size lot. Again, 2-story home, might have a little bit of a loft area above that. Built in 1986, right in the same time frame. Above grade square feet is 2,138, which is very similar to the subject. Basement has 1,274, again, real similar to the subject. They do have 484 square feet finished in the basement, which brings them in a little bit lower at $103 price per square foot. Comparable number 2 is 2770 Caribou Way, about the same size lot, just under a 1/4 acre, 2-story again. This has a little bit less square feet at 1,588. Above grade, 886 for the basement, with about half at 443 of that finished. Brings them in at $153 per square foot. The third comparable is at 487 Arabian, just under a 1/4 acre lot, 2-story home, 1993 build, so it's slightly newer. It has 859 square feet above grade, which is less than the subject. The basement is a little bit less as well, 1,112 square feet with a full finish, which brings it in at 119 per square feet. So it looks like he would be on the lower end of the bracketing of of the sales of similar properties in the area. Just to address, not all of our sales, not all areas averaged about 30%. It was different per market area, per sales on the increase or adjustment of land versus improvements. So I would say that I would ask that we uphold the $347,098 value on this property. Thank you.
Comments on what you just said?
Pardon?
Comments on what she just said?
Like I say, I don't know how to do comparables. I don't know how you get that data. Personally, I think that Zillow, which I've heard mentioned today, is not a particularly legitimate way to go estimating property. So aside from an approach like that, I'm not even sure how I'm supposed to go get information about not only houses that are comparable to mine, but their taxation values and all that stuff. So
Okay.
maybe we should have some kind of information provided to the public on how to do that kind of stuff, if that's what you want from us. So
Okay. Let me just reflect that in 2017, 2018, and 2019, you had 0 increase.
yeah, I don't have that data in front of me. I just took,
So that's why, as things get caught up, if you go 3 years without anything, any adjustment whatsoever, it's going to catch up
yeah, that doesn't
in the
necessarily.
market area
Fine.
as houses sell. So, Commissioner Huff?
No, the law requires the appellate to provide a preponderance of evidence to give us something to stand on to change. We're not supposed to consider previous taxes or, as you read, grievances or anything like that. And I'm sorry, but I do not see a preponderance of evidence that would indicate anything to change the assessed value of it. So at this point in time on parcel RP SW 2000900, I make a motion that we uphold the assessed value.
You have a motion, all in favor, say aye. Aye. So we have upheld the assessor's value. You do have the ability to appeal. You can either go to the state or to federal or district court.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Martinez,
Canceled,
canceled.
or not canceled, but moved to next Friday.
Okay, so we're done.
All right.